Tonight, Brighton Ski Patrol responds to a very large avalanche today that partially buried a 20-year-old skier just days after two teens were also buried in an avalanche in the backcountry near that same resort. Thanks for joining us for 2 News at 10. I'm Mark Cabell.
And I'm Jamie McGriffin. Tonight, questions about balancing public safety with access to public lands have resurfaced online.
Liv Kelleher joining us from Big Cottonwood Canyon tonight. Liv, we hear every year about rider-triggered avalanches. What is being done to help mitigate this risk?
Well, Mark, it really depends where on the mountain you are. Ski resorts like Brighton do their own mitigation work, but once you enter the backcountry, which is predominantly public land, there is no control work and riders take on their own risk. After a slow start to winter, heavy snow in the mountains is a relief to many, but was potentially life-threatening for two teens backcountry skiing near Brighton Resort.
They upset the balance and it collapses the snowpack and causes an avalanche.
According to the accident report, the two teens took a lift at Brighton before rope ducking out of bounds and entering public land.
It's not our place to tell people not to go into the national forest and enjoy it. It's just our place to tell them that, hey, you're leaving an area that has management on it, people keeping an eye on things.
Jared Winkler with Brighton Resort explains that they will create inbound closures to ward off areas within the resort at risk of an avalanche, which Ski Patrol can monitor and enforce.
The first thing is probably just take away their skiing privileges.
But when it comes to regulating backcountry riders on public land,
there's really no rules.
According to Utah's Avalanche Center, the state leads the nation in avalanche-related deaths caused by people entering the backcountry from ski resorts.
People have this false sense of security because they're saying like, well, I'm on a slope and the resort is just right there. It must be safe here. But once you go through that gate, you duck a rope, then you're in the backcountry.
Do we have enough regulation there?
We have a right to go onto public land and we can make our own decisions. There are no legal consequences if you trigger an avalanche, if you get caught in an avalanche. You're on your own.
We know that the 20-year-old who triggered the avalanche today was partially buried in the slide. Of those two teenagers who triggered the avalanche over the weekend, one was partially buried and the other one was fully covered. None of these three skiers were carrying avalanche rescue gear. However, all survived and none had any serious injuries. Jamie and Mark.
Liv, you mentioned a slow start to the winter, but we've had a pretty good amount of snow that's fallen over the last 24 hours. So how has that impacted avalanche risk?
Well, Jamie, according to the Utah Avalanche Center, heavy snowfall and wind has created a considerable to high danger of avalanches. They say that there is a high probability of unsurvivable 4 to 6 foot avalanches that have already occurred. And they say that more human triggered avalanches are likely. While, like I mentioned, they cannot stop people from going into the backcountry, they say if you plan to go prepared. Take a listen.
I know what the current avalanche danger is. You need to have the necessary rescue gear. So that's a beacon, probe, shovel. You need to know how to use it, and you need to be with a partner who's trained in using it as well, so that if there was an avalanche accident, your partner can perform a rescue. If you're missing one of those three pieces, the other pieces don't work well.
Again, they say the key is to know before you go. You can get a daily avalanche report on UtahAvalancheCenter.org. Reporting from Big Cottonwood Canyon, Liv Kelleher, KUTV 2 News.